Okay, so a few concepts from that video that you just watched. This one here, Newton's first law of motion. Okay, the first thing I want to mention is this concept of balanced versus unbalanced forces. So, if we're looking at a balanced force, we're looking at two opposing forces going in opposite directions, which are equal. Okay, so you can see the skateboarder, the ground pushing back up, and the gravity pushing him down. They're equal forces. Okay, two equal forces pushing on this truck. Someone sitting and the chair pushing back on the person sitting. These are all balanced forces because they are equal and opposite. So unbalanced refers to obviously two forces going in opposite directions that are unbalanced. They are not equal. 50 to 30. Obviously, this tug of war is going to be won by the red here. Okay, Newton's laws again. The Newtons, remember, that's the measure of force. Okay, the frictional force is less than the weight, so this bird is going downwards. So that is the difference between balanced and unbalanced. When we look at the first law of motion, as we said, the object will stay at rest, okay, unless something acts on it. So the concept of inertia is very important to understand. Okay, the higher the mass of an object, the greater its inertia. The lower the mass, the less inertia that object has. So if it has less inertia, it's going to be easier to move if it's at rest. Okay, inertia is a body at rest, reluctant to move. Less inertia, easier to move. Greater inertia, harder to move. Same thing when something's already moving. If something is moving, it's reluctant to stop. So something that is moving with less inertia will be easier to stop. Greater inertia, harder to stop. So when we're looking at the concept in that video of a linebacker, a heavier linebacker moving at the same speed as a lighter linebacker will be harder to stop because their inertia will be greater. Okay, so they're moving, they want to stay moving. Whereas a lighter linebacker running at the same speed will be easier to stop, will require less force, is the correct way to say it. Less force required to stop that linebacker. But basically, that is the Newton's first law of motion. Inertia is very important in understanding that. Look out for the video on Newton's second law in a second.